Well, hello there, and welcome back to Freeform Disney. I'm Jeremy, and here we go once again. Hey, we're over halfway through Bad Batch for sure now, just by episode count. And let's see, hello there to Isaac Platero, and hello there to Jedi Princess. And welcome to yet another Bad Batch episode, huh? And hello there to Geek Girl as well. Definitely got a few people over in and around already. Hey, after we've been on a good string of episodes recently. I mean, the last episode, dang, that was so good. The last episode, and the one before that was, really good too. Like probably one of my other favorites of the season, right behind last episode. Yeah, agreed, Jedi Princess. I agreed. I hope Omega's okay as well. Geek Girl, yeah, so excited for Cad Bane. No kidding. Always have loved Cad Bane. always have loved Cad Bane. And hello there to Dramsim as well. So definitely we have a good bit going on. Don't know if we'll see Cad Bane again this episode. I'm voting we will. That's my guess. I think we'll see Cad Bane and Omega interact a little bit here, and I think that could be interesting right there. That's my guess. We'll see what we see, right? Some interesting things did pop out from the last episode of Bad Batch, because we were all talking during the stream about whether when the fight between Boba and Cad Bane would happen, etc., right? But apparently, based on one of the models, it looks like Cad Bane actually has a plate in his head as far as the design for the episode was considered. So that seems like the whole thing might, be after that fight. So the fight still happened chronologically when the unfinished episode would have taken place back in the Clone Wars. Therefore, we didn't know Cad Bane died or what happened when he was shot in the head. But now there's a plate in and about that location, so pretty cool. Pretty cool. So yeah, that's pretty cool. Now, as far as the episode timing, we've talked about it before, but it seems like Bad Batch will always go on the hour. Marvel stuff will go 10 minutes before. So you just gotta go ahead and wait with me till the hour, probably. Although you never know. Maybe it'll come out early. Always possible. Let's see. What else we got? I can guess either way. Yeah. Yep. As I said, I'd definitely like to go ahead and see, some more of Omega and see her interacting with Bane. I think that would be interesting. It's also, as far as Omega's character development and whatnot, her interacting with Bane is a very different thing than interacting with the Bad Batch, and very different than interacting with the people she did back over on Kamino. So, I mean, that broadens her horizons, and I think there's a lot of reason to go there for that reason, if nothing else. But who knows, right? Who knows? And hello there to Sailor X. So, we got more people in the house right there. Let's see. I think Echo and Hunter are going to have a few words. Yeah, no doubt right there, huh? Let's see, Dramsim, you're interested to see if they're going to blow up a Naxxus in one of these episodes. Yeah, that could be interesting. Is there a canon time frame as to when it actually happens, or I don't remember if there's a canon time frame given currently for when a Naxxus actually blows. Let's see. Just taking a quick look to the old Wikipedia right there. See if anything's listed over on Naxxus, because I do not remember that. Destroyed in a cataclysm. Yeah. In the early years of the Imperial era is what I'm seeing here. I mean, early years could clearly be here in Bad Batch. So certainly that's possible right there. Interesting, interesting. Yeah, I don't see any time frame listed on it, so definitely possible. Let's see. Meanwhile, hello there to Barbarella Haymaker. Hello there to Darscal. So a couple more people popping on in. Let's see. Yeah, massive asteroid field indeed. Do I think this episode will be a filler episode? That's an interesting one. We've had a lot of non-filler just recently, but I don't think this one's a filler. Just because we have to deal with the aftermath of what happened in the last episode a little bit first. So it would feel a little odd to be filler. If it is, it would be like, say, half filler and then partly finishing dealing with the repercussions of what just happened. Maybe something like that. But I don't think this one will be filler. If there's going to be filler, I think it would come more in the episode after this one. So this one's more of an aftermath, dealing with it. Maybe they can't go ahead and figure out how to track down Cad Bane immediately, and we're going to try to figure out how to get there. That'll lead to a filler episode next week. I think that would be more my guess if we're going to hit a filler episode in here. Let's see. Oh, I agree, Gear Girl. If they don't do the Boba versus Bane shootout in some form, I'll be sad. Whether that's looking at a flashback in animated, or whether it's looking at a flashback from the live action show for Book of Boba, either way, definitely got to have it. And I can't imagine they won't. It wouldn't work yet in Bad Batch because we haven't introduced Boba Fett into Bad Batch as a show, I should say. So just popping that in would be a little random right now. But once we get Boba Fett involved, which again, we've got Kamino, Boba Fett within old stuff. It was certainly involved in Kamino and, we'll say, Clone Rebellions and such. So again, it seems a fair expectation that Boba will come into the show at some point. When? Who knows? Will it be season 1? Will it be season 2? Heck if I know. Heck if I know. But who knows? Maybe we'll get Boba and get Boba involved to go ahead and help get Omega back. I mean, that's one of my thoughts as to a possible direction we'll go there. Let's see. Thinking maybe one of those episodes when someone knows where she is, but they'll only give them her location if they do something for them, right? Yeah. Yeah, Darscal. Exactly. I could see that as an easy excuse for filler. But it still feels like next episode, not this one. Oh, and hello there to Matthew Finn. And hello there to Kevin Robert. Yeah, so I can catch her. How'd you get that plate in your head? Well, listen there. Here we're going to flash back, and we're going to... Oh, it'd be a weird way to introduce Boba Fett to the Bad Batch show, though. But we could certainly use that as an excuse. We could play the whole episode in flashback, mostly, by watching Cad Bane's point of view. But it'd be fun. And even if we might technically call that filler, I'll take that filler. Oh, hey, and hello there to Pharamond of Arimathea. Yeah, Geek Girl, agreed. I don't think it comes this season, but you never know. I'm famously bad at predictions, so you never know. Do you think we'll see Fennec? Oh, I think Fennec's coming back in soon. I don't think this episode. I think that's a little ways still. But I definitely think Fennec's coming back in. And I think Boba will come in at some point via Fennec. Because that's still my vote as to who Fennec was talking to. Give him a hot potato with the bounty hunters, with Omega being the potato. Certainly that could end up happening. You. Heard a few rumors Maul might pop up, says Darscal. Yeah, I could definitely see Maul pop up. I mean, we've got more time to fill out for what happens to Maul in between. As I said, he's not truly fallen at this point. This goes back Crime Syndicate direction first before he falls, before we get later in time. So there's plenty of room to fill out, and with our Bad Batch going the mercenary route, we could easily connect in with things that might lead toward Maul. So yeah, 100% I think we could go ahead and see Maul pop up at some point. Although even then, I'm voting season 2 probably. We're halfway through season 1, and I don't see Maul popping up just as a random piece here in season 1. Could be wrong. Easily could be wrong. Let's see. Hello there to Maximilian. Let's see. No worries, Geek Girl. I said catch you on the Loki stream next time, probably. Hey, there'll be episode 4 of Loki. Getting close to the finale already. Kind of crazy how fast that show goes by. And that'll be a big marathon for the finale. Which I'm thinking about maybe doing a marathon even for Bad Batch when it pops up to that finale. Just marathon everything before that. Which will be a long live stream, by the way. Yeah, there you go, Jerem. So we'll just toss all kinds of people. Let's just go to some bar somewhere, and Maul's just in the background ordering a latte. Maybe Vader just popped in too, it was just have him walking by. He's just meeting Grand Moff Tarkin. Actually, he wouldn't be a Grand Moff yet. Anyway. Yeah, I did not look at the mid-season trailer that popped out. I tend to avoid those. But I did note there was one thing that was interesting about the thing. I get my notifications over on the email on this. And one thing I thought was interesting, let me pull it up here. Let's see. This is what they said here. They said the Epic series has just begun. Now, I admit maybe you'd say that even though you're halfway through the entirety of all the show that there will ever be. You could say that. But halfway through doesn't feel like just begun if you're only going for another half season. We haven't gotten confirmation on future seasons yet, but that just sounds suggestive of it to me. Also, watching the show, it doesn't feel like the show ends in a half season anyway. It feels like it goes beyond here. So, just saying. Oh, Maximilian, you just finished Tenet. That's a fun one. That is definitely a fun one. I'm not going to say anything more there because that... can't say much about Tenet without spoiling Tenet. Yeah. Just really can't say much about that without spoiling it as I try to think about what I could say without. Well, it's another good Christopher Nolan movie, let's put it that way. And he does love to mess with time. Season 2 of Bad Batch is A-Team in space. Hey, they really go the mercenary route. Certainly could be. I agree, Jedi Princess Maul, Bo-Katan, definitely. I really think it's an excuse to get Bo-Katan in there and watch her fall on Mandalore, though, too. I really think it's a good shot for that. Yeah, Dram. Back on that thing. The Emperor is just shopping for some robes in the background. Maximum, what's the over-under that we ever see Maul in Bad Batch? Well, I mean, if you're going to say the over-under on seeing Maul in Season 1, I'd put that down, 10-15%. But if you're saying over-under that we ever see Maul in Bad Batch, oh man, let's put that at like a 95 or higher right there. I mean, we're going to see Maul in Bad Batch. This is Filoni. Dave Filoni loves Maul, and Maul's going to work in here somewhere. Just going to happen. We have easy excuses with the mercenaries side of all of this too, I think. I do. Okay, let's see if it's up, because it is now midnight. Midnight my time, I should say. But it's also why they put it up at this time. Bounty Lost. That name of the episode. That's ringing a bell to me on a previous name of an episode with Bane. Am I wrong? Oh, I'm gonna have to look at my Clone Wars episode titles right there. Anyway, 28-minute episode, so right along the same length as the two before this, which were roughly the same. Actually, longer than last episode. So it's 27:08 to be exact. So everybody get your episode popping up, so we'll get ready to go ahead and start this all up. Let me know if you're having any trouble. Just put it over into the chat right now if you're having any trouble pulling stuff up. And in the meanwhile, while you're doing that, hello there to Grumpy Dad, and hello there to Sportan as well. Sounds like people are doing fine so far. Sounds good, Pheromon. We'll see you after the episode. Okay. Sounds like everyone is ready. One device, yeah, that would be a problem. Jeremy, you can only think of hostage crisis. Yeah, we'll have to look at it. Okay, let's get ready to roll. So everybody's got their episode up. So we'll all start it up in 3, 2, 1, go. I didn't say, but hey, for people who are new, you pull up yours, and here's a timer you can go ahead and sync up to later if you need it. There you go. I almost forgot to put that in there entirely. I've been too busy with talking with all of you. Which is nothing bad at all, by the way. I love talking with all of you. Oh, I just saw Jedi Princess saw Fast and Furious 9 today. Ugh. Can't wait to see that. I have not seen that yet. That's but definitely looking forward to it. I still wonder on the Bounty Lost. It's just ringing a bell here, and I don't know why. Yeah. I love that we start right off here, still finishing up where we're at. You're right. Definitely, Gay Girl. There was an episode called Padawan Lost. Which actually, it's an interesting reference here. Bounty Lost. I mean, I can see a reason to make that kind of a reference between Ahsoka and Omega here. Could be. Put in a secure compartment. Well, if she has some force powers. The music cue in there. Speaking of that plate, saw just a little right there. There it is. Here's your comic relief for the episode. As he often ends up being. Got 3 of them in here, huh? Who's the third? Yo. Ain't playing any games with that one right there, huh? Whew. Hello there to Monique Brooks. Monique Brooks, sorry. There we go. Enunciation, Jeremy. No kidding, Geek Girl. I mean, I can see why they would go that way. I mean, she's dangerous as far as potentially getting out, being found, versus holding the DNA probably being easier. I mean, I don't remember seeing Tonway before in the animation. And we've been waiting for this confirmation, huh? By the way, so this is our confirmation that yes, she is a clone of Django. I mean, there's long been that question in there. It's all the more reason that we bring in Boba at some point, because the connection between Omega and Boba could be quite intriguing. Oh, you were asking about Tonway, Dram. Actually, the first episode 1 of Bad Batch, but aside from that, it's just kind of background. But aside from Bad Batch, no, I don't think she ever appeared in Clone Wars. Yeah, Dram. I mean, yeah, they'd have the Jango Fett DNA problem if she dies, but I don't think they're looking that far forward into the future. More kind of the immediate. Yeah, you know that was coming. Yes, that interaction would be very intriguing between Omega and Boba. I agree. Agreed, indeed. Mm-hmm. Oh, this is cool. Back to getting to see places over here in this show. Love it. Jerem. Well, yeah, he's commenting on the blonde hair. I'd also comment on the gender, too, so. Certainly, while a normally grown clone, a couple alterations right there.
No va a ir a futuro.
Nice that they're nearby enough to be able to hear that. That's an impressive communicator. Nice. Tapoka City, Tapoka City. Not used to hearing Tapoka City named. Nah, but what she said about the comm panel could certainly help them quite a bit. Yeah, the Kaminoans were talking, and they said it was an old research facility of theirs. I think it might be a little early for that, but maybe not too early for, say, a Fennec Shand. For all, the episode is named Bounty Lost, right? Yo. I gotta admit, that's a little cold for Fennec right there. You think Boba will pop up, though, or just Fennec today? By the way, this is the Fennec in the tunnel shot. Or what looked like a tunnel. Never gonna be easy. Oh, what a waste. This is fun. Got our shootout last time, a very different type of shootout this time. Loving it. Oh, cad. You were had. Rhyming not intended. This is an extra piece right here, huh? Those are big. Waiting to get a better view here. What this will make a sense. Clever girl. Wow. Impressive the decay and damage to that dish. Fennec. Should have finished the job. But what exactly is you want her for? Granted, a connection to Boba here, but way to go, Omega, as per usual. By the way, I think it's the first time in any show movie that we've seen any clones of the actual Kaminoans themselves, right? Agreed, Geek Girl. Yeah, definitely someone else. Again, if it's not Bo, I'll be surprised. Although, maybe we're Emperor side on this one. Maybe Palpatine / Sidious. We are teasing that plate a bit, aren't we? A ladder with shackles, indeed. Whew. The most biggest problem you have here, too, is you're doing this trade with Omega, but she's essentially on home turf. Relatively. I love the same Kaminoan basic city buildings, but up in the air. Love it. I was gonna say, you two don't have time to keep fighting each other here, you know? It's like, love the fight, though. It's been fun. When your situation goes from bad to worse, what do you do? I really thought she'd be captured longer than just this one episode. Miss that guess. Yes, Trap. Kaz bounty is lost. Nice ship. Seen it once before, but that was a good view of it right there. Oh, the Kaminoans fighting each other. Yeah. Whew. Some big disagreements right there. Labasu is definitely going rogue right there. Love it. This one's going to be interesting. Promise that she's never going back to Camino. Think that one's going to hold true? Jaram Nalase went from villain in Clone Wars to sweet mother role person in Bad Batch. Indeed, indeed. Yep. Well, this is not too bad for the localization credits, right? 2.5 minutes? This sounds maybe a little less. I don't know. Boba's going to get hired. Oh, I agreed to our scale. I think that's coming at some point. At some point here. Not yet, though. Not yet. It's interesting. I mean, right now, Fennec Shand won't pop back in for a little bit. There's no reason for her to. Not unless Cad Bane were to be successful or something of that nature, or Crosshair, yada yada. So for now, who knows when we'll see Fennec Shand again? It'll be a little bit. Now it's time for a filler episode coming up next. I mean, we've clearly taken care of everything else for the moment. Time for them to lay low and have a filler. Kind of sad about that. That ends our long line of certainly non-fillers here. Yeah, no kidding. Nalase, being as sympathetic as she is here, yeah, no, that's a surprise. I mean, definitely really cares about Omega. Impressively so, really. Yep, exactly, Jaram. Yes, the confirmation for sure that Omega is indeed a Jango Fett clone. And the whole Alpha Omega thing going on while we're at it. Will we name that episode Alpha and Omega? When it finally comes? It will come. Oh, there's no way it doesn't happen. Maximilian, you say we start a new arc next episode, not filler. Interesting. I think we take a pause first. That's my guess. I'm guessing it will be quote-unquote filler. Let me say that. I mean, I don't know that any episode we've ever had in the show is truly filler. They're just more fillery. You know, with maybe a main plot that is filler, but we have other stuff that is certainly not within there. So, and certainly new stuff and character progression and et cetera, et cetera. I mean, so there has not been any true filler episode in the course of the show yet. I should say that. Let's see. The show end with Camino destroyed. I don't think that's a show ender. I think that's a season finale somewhere in the course of the show. Maybe the season 2 finale. But I don't think it's a show end. Because that's about Camino, not necessarily about the Bad Batch coming to an end. They don't have to come to an end during that. They could. But, yeah, hard to say. Does that mean Hunter is as old as Omega? Sounds about right. Yeah, sounds believable. At least we know why Boba saved Nala Se. Yeah, indeed, Maximilian, exactly. Some filler episodes more full than others. And who doesn't want to see Ahsoka, Kevin? Who doesn't? I think we'll have to wait for that, though. Again, it's... considering who's making the show, she'll pop up somewhere. Eventually. Not necessarily in season 1, though. And certainly in no big, big way because she's too powerful. Yeah, the show has definitely been tightly paced. Been enjoying it, that is for sure. Well, Scallop, considering they're both clones of Django, then yes, they're brother and sister. I mean, technically, you can also go ahead and say that Boba is a brother to every one of the other clones, too, Bad Batch included. You can also say Omega is a sister to every one of the other clones, Bad Batch included. And as I said, they're all clones. So I would say yes, most certainly. Alpha and Omega together, yes indeed, at some point. And hey, hello there to Solomon Glover. Some real dark scenes in this episode. Yes, there were some real dark scenes in this episode. Both literally and figuratively. Some of that lighting when we were down there with those other clones, which actually happened to have some of the darker sides of it, too. I mean, other than having killed off a Kaminoan while we're at it. Yeah, I can't wait to see Omega show up in live action if that happens. That would be cool. That would definitely be cool. Maybe also in our Luke Skywalker Jedi Academy spin-off series at some point, right? That would be fun. Who knows? We'll see what we see, right? Oh, okay. Scal, you're saying because they're both different in the same way? Yeah, certainly, because they're unaltered clones. Quote-unquote unaltered. Because Omega obviously is not purely unaltered. It's an interesting question on exactly why Omega turned out the way she did if she was supposed to be an unaltered clone, though. A side question is, why is she an unaltered clone? We made an unaltered clone of Django because Django asked for it in terms of Boba Fett. Why does Omega exist? Why did we make a second unaltered clone? Yes, agreed, Solomon. You know how the smoke made the fight and everything else more suspenseful, just the atmosphere more suspenseful, too. Agreed. It was nice. Wonder how Fennec survives Cat on the warpath. Ooh, that could be fun. But I mean, right now, I don't think Cat's going to go after Fennec. Probably has better things to do, right? And Fennec's not involved anymore for the time being, so... Interesting. Interesting question. A mate for Boba. Yeah, it's more than a little messy. 2 unaltered clones. Yee. It's a way to make all kinds of a mess right there. Yeah, definitely, Geek Girl. It's certainly unaltered in the sense that she ages normally, but altered in other ways. Whether intentionally or not, I don't know. Yeah, definitely a possibility, Kevin. Maybe it was Django again. I mean, it would be a little contradictory, though, because Attack of the Clones clearly said that he asked for only one other thing, which was an unaltered clone for himself, i.e. Boba Fett. So it would contradict that, and there's really no time after that statement to go ahead and have then changed it. Just given the context of Attack of the Clones and timing, because from when that's said, Jango Fett then dashes off, and, well, you know, we head all the way over to Geonosis, and then he dies. So there's just nowhere for that to work timeline without a pretty decent retcon to have to sit in there. And I don't see that one happening. So that means there's some other reason for it. Maybe Django was the first human they ever cloned, and they accidentally made a girl on their first try, and the Kaminoans just know the Greek alphabet the wrong way around. Oh, that would be interesting. See, it's just all a big misdirection. Giant red herring with her name being Omega. She was actually the first clone. Oh, that's intriguing, actually. What a red herring that would be if they did something like that. I did not see the new Shang-Chi trailer yet. It has been a busy day over here, so I have not had a chance to see it yet. Soon. But not yet. Now, been one heck of a busy day. Let's see. Kind of a second Loki situation with the oh, jeez. Yes, clones everywhere, right? Or essentially, variants, whatever you want to call it. I know no spoilers for Shang-Chi, so I got no spoilers to give. I mean, I've seen the teaser trailer, haven't seen the full trailer, so no spoilers from me on it. So don't know any. I mean, hey, if anybody involved in it wants to go ahead and give me spoilers, go ahead and leak. Go ahead and let, just drop me an email. freeformdisney@gmail.com. But otherwise, no, I have no spoilers. Yeah, I hear you, Jerem. I hear you on that. Are you watching trailers at all, or keeping yourself even away from the trailers? Said I understand staying away from the trailers sometimes. I mean, generally the Marvel trailers tend to be pretty good in not giving away too much. Generally. Show trailers, yeah, even the show trailers, I think. But, yeah. Anyone gonna see F9? Yeah, at some point, definitely. Definitely, no question there. Well, Darscal will catch you go in another few days. Another 5 days. Go ahead and 5 days? 4 days. No, 5 days. Okay. Math. Late at night. But yeah, 5 days for the next episode of Loki. I definitely will see you then. And hey, hello there to Marcus Song. Dram, you even avoid all the trailers. Gotcha. Yeah, I mean, it's an interesting question. I often go ahead and debate it to some degree, but I've gone yes for movie trailers and whatnot. Yes, indeed. And Star Wars trailers, too, certainly, etc., etc. So for Mandalorian or Bad Batch or etc. Although I have not watched the Bad Batch mid-season trailer, I grant. Usually once a show is going, I don't watch any of their other teases and promotions. I'm not a big fan of next time ons either. So, yeah. I see, Kevin. Interesting spoiler. And good night to Geek Girl as well. Well, again, I will say thank you to everybody for joining us. A whole ton of you went ahead and joined for the stream. We had another good episode, definitely. Some great fight scenes in there to toss in. Got to see Fennec again, finally. And we got the confirmation that for sure, not just in the model that was shown, but that metal plate up in Cad Bane's head. So at some point we'll flash back. At some point. see, Book of Boba and Mando Season 3 trailers are ones where you plan on deleting your social media until the show starts. Yeah, you're pretty much going to have to do that right there if you don't want to go ahead and, yeah. It's going to get trickier and trickier, though, once they start bringing out all their shows next year. And, yeah, good luck. Yes, good luck. That's what I've got to say. Said I will not go in completely blind, that is for sure. Kevin, who would win Boba Fett versus Cad Bane? Well, it's a draw now, isn't it? I think that's roughly what we argued, with the exception of the fact that at least Boba was wearing a helmet and Cad Bane was not. So, therefore, point to Boba Fett. If slightly. Welcome back there, Sport10. And I should say, when I say Fett versus Cad Bane, that's Fett, young Fett, Clone Wars age Fett. Actually has the upper hand on Cad Bane. So let's just talk about how much Fett would have the upper hand later. At that point, that is not even a contest anymore. And think about that. Think about how young Fett is able to essentially get the upper hand on Cad Bane. Dang. There's a reason he's a legend. I wonder if IG-88 will get brought back into canon in a bigger way. I mean, IG-88 is still canon due to the appearance within Empire Strikes Back. But you really know pretty much nothing about IG-88 from there. I know I'm talking assassins and jumping subjects. But while we're talking some of the best mercenaries, bounty hunters in the entire galaxy. Oh, I remember old EU on IG-88. So, I don't know. Has IG-88 gotten any new other expansion in there? Love to see IG-88 pop back up in a big way. But anywho, I have no idea what all's been done there or not. Maybe in the comics, maybe something else. Questions I do not know the answers to. Let's see. More talks about Boba Fett there. Yeah. You're talking about the fight there, Kevin. Yep. Not a deleted scene. Actually, it was an unfinished episode. It never actually got to be made. So, yes. Boba Fett was physically trained in combat by Jango. Yes, indeed. Jango, who was a pretty good bounty hunter on his own side. Not as good as the heights that Boba made it to, though. Whew. Dang. Yes, Fett hates Cad. Oh, it'll be interesting to explore into at some point. We're going to do it. We're clearly going to do it. Where, again, it's going to come up in Bad Batch at some point. And I'm curious about Book of Boba Fett. I'm curious if Cad Bane will actually be alive at that point in time still. It's possible. Certainly possible. Well, anyway, I think I'm going to call it a night here. If you want to toss anything quickly in the chat, go ahead and do it now. Maybe I'll go ahead and respond to it before I sign off. But otherwise, I am going to start taking my leave here, and I will catch you all later. More Star Wars stuff coming up, of course. More and more episodes of Bad Batch still to come. Amongst other things. And hey, we're going to get some, for those who do like hearing things or panels, there's that information coming up. The panel on Visions is coming up in like a week. So I'm looking forward to that. Like next weekend. So anywho, until next time, everybody, let me go ahead and say have a magical day, and may the Force be with you. Always.